What up, everybody? Well, it would appear that Mr. Lollyboy, Daniel Ralph, is still obsessing over me. It sure is ironic how he always wants to go around calling everybody the homophobic F slur, claiming how people are living, or claiming how he's living rent free in people's heads and things like that, right? Yet, again, you go to his Facebook and all it is him obsessing over this person and that person and talking crap about them and everything else. And that's, he may be one of the people he's talking crap about, which, based on what I'm seeing, it really looks like all he's trying to do is get any kind of a focus or attention off himself and put it onto somebody else. Basically, nothing more than typical deflection from him, which that's all he does. I'm gonna have a news flash for you there, Daniel, and I know you're gonna see this. You know, it's funny how you want to post so much stuff about religious stuff and whatnot. I got news flash for you, dude. When Judgment Day gets here, everybody's gonna have to answer for their sins. You're not gonna be able to tell God, but you're not gonna be able to go to God and be like, but this person said this and did that and everything. Nope, there ain't gonna be no deflection in heaven. You're gonna be held accountable and judged for your mistakes. Doesn't matter what somebody else did. You see, in the eyes of the Lord, there is no sin greater than the other. You know, shoplifting would be just as bad as murder in the eyes of the Lord. So, yeah, just something worth noting. So, at the end of the day, these people always want to make excuses. Be like, well, this person said this person said that. It's like, again, if you're going to claim to be a follower of the Lord and everything, then you're going to have to drop that kind of excuse-making personality. I guess that's a way of putting it. I don't know. But nonetheless, though, my point is, though, it's like, that's the reason why at this point I'm not even worried about anybody. I'm just focusing on my own salvation, and as far as everybody else goes, they're on their own. Like, seriously. That's just how I see it. So, yeah. So it is what it is on that. But I do think it's funny how he wants to sit there and, take a stupid video I made, like, I think, like 6 years ago, as a way to sit there and say, oh, you're racist. It's like, dude, you've gone on the Money AD stream here all back and called him the N-word with a hard ER, like, countless times. You've gone onto that Dragon Patriots channel and called him an N-word. You keep calling Roar and everybody else who's black a monkey. It's right there within your little, post and whatnot that you make on Facebook. The evidence is right there. So, yeah. And not to mention, you've been making racial slurs towards Sloppy and everything. You still do that. And I did notice that Will even wants to call me a racist. It's like, Will can shut the hell up. Because I remember back when he called Tiffany, Arthur's girlfriend or whatever it is that they are. I don't know what's going on there. I don't care either. But at the end of the day, I remember when he called her a bunch of racial shit and everything. So he definitely has no leg to stand on to be calling anybody racist. That's what I'm saying, man. A lot of these people that always want to run their mouth really have no leg to stand on. Just going to keep it real on that. So, yeah. And as far as that whole video I made, where I say it's okay to flirt with a minor, or a 17-year-old rather, again, that was taken way out of context and everything, which I'm not surprised. I mean, I literally said within that video that you would never see me wasting my time with someone that young. Even if I was still, like, let's say I'm still, like, in my mid-20s or something. I still wouldn't waste time with someone that young. Okay? So, yeah. Which that video that I made was like over 3 years old, and I remember what that video was about and why I made that video. You see, Jack of Gold Kick was getting attacked like crazy and accused of being a pedo and whatnot. And he even showcased proof and evidence that he's not a pedo and everything, but people were still wanting to go with that narrative regardless. So that's the reason why I made that video. You know, because he was the one that was flirting with I guess a 17-year-old or 18-year-old or whatever. So, yeah. But it is what it is, you know. People are going to go with whatever narrative they want to go with, so it's whatever. But nonetheless, though, yeah, I don't support, flirting with a minor or anything. All I basically said is that at the end of the day, nobody can really do anything about it because if a person is of consensual age in whatever state they live in or whatever, then it ain't going to matter who flirts with them. There's nothing that can be done about it. That's basically all I was saying. You know, do I agree with it? No. But unfortunately, that's just how it is. That's just how messed up the, you know, law is and how messed up the age of consent system is and whatnot. That's just the best way I can put it when it's all said and done. Again, a lot of these things people are wanting to call me out for, it's like, again, they really need to get the full context and everything. Just saying. So, yeah. But it is what it is. I mean, again, McDaniel's always been bad about this, where he wants to take what someone said or did way out of context. It's like when Otaku made that requirements for dating video, and again, it was just a satire video. It was more just for entertainment purposes. And Daniel, to this day, still takes it seriously and everything. That's the problem, and that's what I'm saying, man. People like Daniel have no sense of humor. Like for real. So, yeah. Yes, there is legitimate things that I don't agree with when it came to what Otaku has said and done. But when it comes to the whole requirements for dating video, I don't take it seriously because, again, he's already explained multiple times it was a satire video. It was just a joke video. It wasn't even meant to be taken seriously, so, yeah. But it is what it is on all that, so yeah. That's really all to say on the whole shit, so, yeah. Literally turned 41 yesterday. I had my birthday yesterday or whatever, so, yeah. I ain't focusing on all this crap, so, yeah. I just think it's funny how Daniel wants to obsess over me the way he does and everything. It's like, he's just mad because at the end of the day, there's still people out there that would rather try to be cool or cordial with me or whatever than him. Again, despite my flaws and everything, I'm still a lot easier to talk to than what Daniel is when it's all said and done. So, yeah. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not even worried about it no more, so, yeah. Y'all take care. God bless and peace.